Yeah, everybody, my name is Lowell and welcome to the channel. So we have top tier Patreon choice today. This is going to be Kent Rollins with grilling versus smoking pork chops. Which is better? How to master the perfect pork chop. Let's jump in and let's have a look at this one.
The three biggest mistakes you make grilling a pork chop. Number one, you bought that little old thin dinky looking pork chop. Number two, you throwed it directly on the fire. And number three is you're overcooking it to death. Stick with me. In this video,
Okay.
I've got tips to make you the grill master.
Nice. I do love a bit of pork chop, that's for sure. Ooh. Oh my God.
Look at them bad boys
Ooh.
right there. That is what I call
That's
a
a pork chop.
1.75 inch thick, marbling
Damn.
in there. They're so inexpensive. $7.65 for both of these. So we're showing you how to fix a
that's
really
cheap,
inexpensive
isn't
meal,
it?
but I'm gonna show you two ways to grill these. And ooh, I'm gonna pair them up with a special sauce for each one, and they're so good because I think sauce brings out such a great flavor in pork. All of it's gonna have a little sweetness and a little smoke to it. Hey, but stick around, we got a bonus. We're gonna do you a grilled asparagus to pair with it with a lemon butter sauce. But before we go any further, one of the things I think that is most important when you're cooking pork is to not undercook it, but so many people overcook it. They do. I rely on Chef's Temp to always make sure that I got that pork right where I desire that temperature to be, and we're gonna do that today at 160. These things will never let you down, folks. You've seen me use them. They are such a great tool. We thank them for being a sponsor of ours, and we finna grill us up some pork. Now, when you're going in there and you look in that butcher case and you see some pork, biggest mistake, the biggest mistake that you can make is pick up them little bitty thin pork chops. I mean, you can put them up here, you can read the eye chart at the eye doctor. Them things are so thin and you cook them to death. Buy you a substantial amount of weight to a pork chop. Check this out. 1 3/4 inch thick. Isn't that right, Cletus? Cletus says he is a pork chop expert, but look for you some marbling in that pork chop. It's just like steak. Pork is going to have marbling. It is. You can see the fat rind that comes around this one right here, this chop. Not very thick as it is on this one. Now, I would prefer just a little more on there, but if you get too much, always take your knife and score that just a little, because you know when you cook a pork chop and it's got a big old piece of rind fat, or even a steak sometime will do that. If it's thin, they'll curl up. Well, that's because that fat is shrinking. It is losing weight, and it will cause it to curl. So always make sure, I always used to say, this is the right amount of fat on a steak, this is too much. Let me give you a little buying tip when you're walking up to that butcher case and you see a big old ribeye in there or a big old pork chop. You know, rind fat to me is something that you don't need a whole lot of, but you sure need some. Always go by this method. Learned it a long time ago when I was in a meat lab. Not this much, no. About the thickness of your finger is just about right. But this much is too much. Not that much, but the thickness of your thumb. I don't want to see that back fat so big and round through there that you're paying for just extra weight, but we do need it for the flavor. Now I think right off this morning, it's a beautiful morning. God has blessed us with some cloud cover. I think we'll mix up a margarita, Shan. You know too? Yeah.
Hey,
no,
what?
really, folks, get you one lime. Lime juice, you've heard me say it so many times, is a natural tenderizer.
Oh, he's going to put
You're
it on the
not
pork,
going to
isn't he?
taste the lime juice, but the acidity from the lime is going to break down connective tissue in the meat, which is going to make it more tender. So give it a little squeeze on that side. Rub it in gently. Cletus says we're doing a really good job.
He's like,
Get it
what are
on
you
this
doing to
side,
the
Cletus.
meat? You're ruining it.
Rub that one in. Change participants. And then I'm going to use our original seasoning on there. It's also got a little citrus base to it. What have I always told you when cooking steak? People under season, over cook. Now to me, pork doesn't take as much seasoning as a steak does. So we're going to go just a tad lighter. Turn her back over.
Man, that looks good already. Hasn't even been cooked.
If you got them paper thin ones and you made that mistake, do not take them out of the ice box. Call Pizza Hut, okay? Because them things are going to burn up. If you're going to cover them, don't cover them with aluminum foil, okay? Cover them with plastic wrap or something like that, just where we can leave that covered up where nothing can get to it. If Cletus is in your house, put
Put
it
'em
up
up
here.
there.
That is Cletus height approved, ain't it, Cletus? You will not see them again. But I'll meet y'all back at the fire. We'll get her to going. Welcome back to the cooking challenge. Yes, right here on my right, we have the Legacy Grill, straight from Tulsa, Oklahoma. Hasty Bake Corporation, looking to do her stuff and to prove to her
Man,
idol,
they were well
the
used
master
barbecues
of
and
fire,
grills, aren't they?
the queen of all the heat. She is Bertha, our wood stove.
Man,
and
that's
she
a
will
big
burn the
wood
hair
stove.
off your legs at any time you get close. We're going to take the eyes out of her. First, we're going to start with the Legacy we are. Now, I have got it with some oak and mesquite already in there, but folks, I need a little more smoke coming out of there, so I split me a good piece of red oak off here this morning. Throw that in there, and this one was a bonus here. And if you're ever thinking, hey, I don't know where they're getting this stuff or what they're using, it's always down there below in the little links. You'll be able to find it. So, coals are on this end, right? Ain't nothing down here. What do we call that? Cletus, do you know? Cletus is an indirect pork chop heat.
Good job, Cletus.
So, and here comes contestant number one. We're gonna set him right down here on this end. There's a little dab of sizzle, not much. Shut the lid. We're gonna let that smoke just drift through there and come back and just give it a great smoke bath. We're probably gonna cook that till it gets to about 145. The reason I like this method is this pork chop is so thick, and when we can start it down there on that end, it's gonna let that temperature gradually rise till we get that center nearly cooked to where we want it. Then we can slap it on a hot fire over here and just give it the color we need, get it done. Sort of a foolproof method it is. Well, while that's cooking along over there on the Hasty Bake, we're gonna go ahead and make the sauce that we're gonna put on that contestant we are. And we started with 6 minced garlic, and we're gonna use about a cup of honey in here.
Oh, okay.
A little bit of soy sauce. It's what I call a honey garlic sauce, really, in a way. A little bit of ground mustard, black pepper. This will be on contestant number 1. We're gonna reach that temperature over there of 140 degrees, and then we're gonna throw it on a hot
I've
licking
never put
fire.
ground
wheel.
mustard in a sauce before. That's interesting.
Well, we've been on about probably 30 minutes, I would say. Probe that, we're at 139, so we added some more firewood down here because I want a really hot licking fire. That has been on that side the entire time we started, so we want to turn that side over, get it over here, get it right on them flames, and let it go to coming up there and doing some goodness. Now, I'm gonna let that get good and hot over here above this fire before we ever start to baste
That's a great
this,
shot.
because I just want to give it a good covering of that sauce. We got to come up just a little to a temperature of 160s.
Ooh. The dogs are smelling it now. Oh my god. Oh my god. I can just imagine that smell. Is it raining?
Jesus for the rain, but folks, we're gonna have to take a little break in the action because Chad's camera and stuff is getting wet. I don't know if y'all even see it.
I thought it looked like rain before.
But we're not fussing at the rain, folks. We need it. So hang on,
Yeah.
we'll be right back.
Definitely need the rain. Oh my god. Coming down. Ooh. Oh my god, that looks good.
Well, we are back. We had about what they would do at a baseball game, a rain delay. Yes, we did, but oh, it was so nice. I sit over there in that teepee with them pups. It was good to watch it rain. The second
Nothing like
method we're
watching
gonna do
rain. I love
is
watching
something
rain.
really that I started doing a long time ago. And I remember when I was on Chop Grill Masters, Chef Mark Murphy said, I seen you wrap that pork steak and throw it out there. That's like French cooking. I told him, I said, I don't know what you call it, but it's going to help preserve that moisture and more of a steaming effect till we get it there. So we got this big old pork chop. He has come to room temperature. Set him right in the middle of that aluminum foil. Get you some half melted Kerrygold butter that set out in the rain for a little bit. Yep. And lay you a big old chunk right up there on top. Just go ahead and spread him around. Wrap him up good and tight. We got old Bertha over there blazing with flame we have. And we're just gonna take this and chunk it right on top of the fire. We are. Bertha is plenty hot. She is full of mesquite and oak. She is. Remember, the butter side is on top. We're laying right over the flame. We're going to let this probably cook about 8 minutes on that side. Then we're going to flip it, cook it
Hear
some
the
more.
cows in the
While
background?
that is cooking,
Nice.
we're going to mix us up another special sauce that goes on this pork chop. Now, before we did a honey garlic on contestant number 1, but ooh, this is probably my favorite. Me and Shan been doing this for a while. It is a fig sauce. Yep, you heard me right. Picked it right off the fig tree I did today and made me some what? Fig preserves. Now, this stuff is really good. I could eat it on a hot biscuit, anything like that. It's sort of hard to find at places, but you can just look. Some garlic powder and some of this here W sauce, the Lee and Perrins. I'm gonna go ahead and say
Worcestershire
sauce.
Pronounce that sauce.
Worcestershire. Worcestershire. W sauce. Where's your sister sauce?
Woo-woo sauce.
What kind of sauce?
Where's your sister sauce?
Worcestershire sauce. I got close. So we're gonna add some of that in there. I'm thinking this stuff right here, you be putting it on gravy, you be putting it on the forehead, you be putting it anywhere you can. Well, we was on about 8 or 9 minutes, and then we flipped it and been on about another 6 or 7. 135. We're close.
Nice how that swivels.
Yes, it is. You can see it is a great tool. It is.
That is a
Unwrap
great
this any way you can without getting burnt. That's all I can tell you. Well,
okay, so
this
now they're going to get some color in it.
So we're going to turn it down. You can see we already got a little color there. Flames is licking pretty hard. They are. We're going to come up to about 155 on this. It doesn't take long because really this pork chop has steamed itself nearly done. So don't run off and leave it thinking that it's going to take a long time because it's not.
I love asparagus as well. The cows are going, yeah, come on. What are you cooking? What are you giving us?
Well, we done took what I would call $7.65 into a $100 meal. We did. I mean, this is a beautiful thing. It is. Now you
look
see
very
on
similar,
the
don't
method
they?
over there on the
Very,
Legacy Grill
once
to
they've
where
been charred up a
we
bit.
just indirect heat that. Now that's going to give you a more smoke flavor on this pork chop. It is going to take you a little longer than this pork chop right here. When you wrap that up in foil, you're like a steaming effect. It's going to cook quicker than this other pork chop did. It's going to be a little more moist, I think. Going to have still that char flavor that you're getting right off the grill, but not the smoky taste that embedded this one throughout. And in the asparagus, you see me just go ahead and just roll that stuff in some oil and some seasoning. Then we done mix this up about a 3/4 of a stick of butter. We done put some garlic powder in there, a little bit of lemon zest, put it back over on the fire, start it up, and we're going to take this piece right here. Cooked to perfection it is. I am going to take that bite right there. Go ahead and waller it back around in that sauce.
Which one is that one? The second one?
That is the fig sauce.
Oh.
Contestant number 2.
The fig sauce sounds very interesting.
Off the Legacy. Get some of that sauce. Right
honey
up on
sauce
top.
is nice too, but I like smoky flavored as well. I think I'd rather the first one maybe.
You cannot pick a winner.
Oh,
you
really?
cannot. No.
Okay, honestly, do you have a favorite?
I mean, the honey garlic with the soy, it has sort of an Asian flavor to it, but it's so good. But I really think that the fig is probably going to be my favorite because them figs just have a way of bringing out a sweetness that that pork needs so much.
Yeah, I like the smoke though.
Which one's this?
This is a fig.
I mean, that fig sauce is killer.
Yes, it is. Now, I would hate to think that y'all didn't think I ate vegetables. So, we're just going to go ahead and get us some in here.
When they're smothered in butter.
That's right. I do like asparagus, baby asparagus.
That is what we call elegant dining, big. And right now, we're just going to break into a little elegant stool dancing. We are, I mean,
whoa.
shimmy shape. You can see the legs is trying to get off her, but I'm talking, folks. You may do a double back flip off here? I'm not either. I'm not going to either. You see how important it was to check that temperature throughout this cooking. And that chef's temp is going to always get you there. It's going to tell you the truth. It ain't going to lie to you. It is a great product. I really thank them people for supporting our channel. I do. And folks, you'll get you a little discount code link down there below to where you can get you one of these, because you won't go wrong. It is a great thing. It is. But hey, everything that we use today, some of you still getting lost on comments and saying, I don't know where you're at. Look down there in them links below the video. When we say below, I don't mean scroll all the way to the bottom. I mean down the below of the description. You'll see it there. But it is with pride, honor, and great privilege that I tip my hat to all our servicemen and women and all the veterans who have kept that old flag a-flying up there. It is our honor and privilege, and we commend you, we do. But something that we got to do right now that we ain't done yet is we got to feed these puppies.
That's right.
Who brave the rain with me. You're the best pup. Big is probably getting about 14 years old, and he's got manners. You can't be just walking on in here like you own the place, Cletus. Where's Lou?
She's right under the chuck box.
Lou, there you go. Duker is napping, and little bitty herd dog, there you go. Well, we hope y'all enjoyed this video, because we sure did. Get you some pork chops, get out there to grill. Let me give you a great big old hug. God bless you each and every one, and I'll see you down the $100 meal pork chop trail.
Oh my God, that looked good.
Duke.
Oh.
Missed another video. What were you doing?
Worcestershire sauce. I cannot even pronounce none of these words.
Rooster sauce.
Worcestershire sauce.
That's pretty good.
That's pretty close for me, it is. Number 3. I don't remember what number 3 was.
Oh my God. He brings a whole personality to the cooking, you know. Yeah, sure, we're having a bit of a cooking lesson. If you haven't cooked on a grill or a hot plate or anything, that's fine. But it's the personality that comes across. That's what we come back for. And the bloody good looking food as well too. So I do like a bit of pork. The smoked, I don't know. The fig sauce sounds interesting too. I've never had a fig sauce. I think he's probably right about the sweetness coming out on that. But, I mean, we get a lot of Asian influence here in Australia. So that sauce just sounds right up my alley as well, too. And the smoke added into it. That sounds good. That sounds so good. With the pork as well. Man, that's a good chunk of pork as well. Real good chunk of pork. That was fantastic. I loved it. Loved it. Love coming watching his videos. He's got a very calm way of presenting. I love the fact that he's got all these dogs, and he looks after them so well as well. It was fantastic. I loved it. I loved it. Thank you very much. You know who you are for requesting that one. So guys, let me know if you enjoyed that. Guys, another Kent Rollins video here on the channel. Thank you very much for joining us today. Make sure you stay safe, and I'll definitely see you in the next reaction video. Did you enjoy that video? Why not watch another one?